Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test, oh, you got it on there? Oh, okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Everybody?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Here is the latest on Idalia and what you need to know right now. We have already started to feel the worst impacts of the storm. We're basically in the worst of it right now. That's going to continue through about 3 o'clock this afternoon. The conditions we'll experience today in our area are basically comparable to what we would see in a strong nor'easter. Idalia is passing about 80 miles to our northwest, and Alex Booth from the National Weather Service is going to have more details on the weather in just a bit. Let me just give you an update on where things stand. Citywide, 7 shelters remain open at this hour. They are Chaffee Trail Elementary, Chimney Lakes Elementary, La Villa Middle School, Ocean Way Elementary, Landmark Middle School, Atlantic Coast High School, and the Legend Center. Duval County Public Schools remain closed today and tomorrow, and we're going to have an update on classes resuming on Friday very soon. All City of Jacksonville buildings will remain closed today for non-essential personnel, and we're going to make an announcement in the next few hours in terms of what the rest of the city employees can expect as far as tomorrow is concerned. Some important reminders. Please do not go near any down power lines, and don't walk or drive in any standing water. There are no lifeguards on duty today at Duval County beaches. So please, please, please stay out of the ocean. There's a ton of rip currents, and we don't want anybody to lose their life, and we don't want anybody to lose their life trying to help somebody who's gotten into the water. Also, please call 630 City. They're doing a great job of answering your non-emergency phone calls. Save 911 for all true emergencies. So if you don't have something that really is life-threatening, please just call 630-CITY. All of this information will be continuously updated at jacksready.com and the Jacks Ready app. And now I'd like to turn it over to Council President Salem.
Thank you, Mayor Deegan. I just wanted to let everybody know the city council was updated a couple hours ago on the conditions out there. Many of my colleagues are getting out in the community. Several have visited shelters, so they're out there assessing damage and reporting back to us. I just wanted to take a moment to express my condolences to the family of former city councilwoman Denise Lee, who passed away yesterday. She was a giant on the city council and a friend of mine. So thank you, and let me pass it to Chief Burns.
Thank you, Council President Salem. So we're asking people to please stay off the roads. There's no need to be on the roads right now. We're asking people to be safe and please stay off the roads. As I said earlier this morning, we've increased our staffing for today and tomorrow, have plenty of police officers on the streets to provide extra coverage as needed. We're continuing to monitor the wind speed at the bridges. There's been no closures yet. We're currently assisting JFRD, JEA, Public Works, and our contract partners with emergency road access teams. And that's going well. There's a little bit of localized flooding in the Riverside area near Acosta Street, and that's one area we'd ask people to stay out of. Now I'm going to turn it over to Keith Powers, Chief Powers.
Well, good afternoon. As Chief Burns said, ERAT is out and about. We have been very fortunate. I think we've dodged a bullet, Mayor, with this. We've only had about 10 ERAT calls so far. With that happening very shortly in the next hour or two, I briefed the mayor earlier that we're probably going to be, the state has asked for our urban search and rescue teams and our ERAT teams to help our neighbors to the west that have received the most damage. And probably in the next few hours, we're going to be deploying those teams out to do that once we're 100% sure that we're good in our local area. So that's where we're at. No, we have not seen any widespread damage or anything, but as soon as it's safe for our crews to get out, we're going to be putting our fire prevention division and our suppression division fire apparatus out doing windshield assessments, and they'll get that back to the emergency operations center where we can then deploy assets to those hardest hit areas if there are any. So with that, I'll turn it over to Director Ayub from our Emergency Preparedness Division.
Good afternoon. So for the past 2 days, you've heard us all talk about how to prepare for the storm. I want to shift a little bit today and talk about what to do during the storm. This is a recurrent theme, as you heard Chief Burns, Chief Powers. Simple. Stay put. Stay in your house. Please do not get on the roadway. Go out to the beach to see the waves, see trees blowing around the water. Stay put. And we're looking at the worst part of the storm, leaving our county between 4 and 6 p.m. We will give you the all clear. Please stay put. Enjoy your day off. Stay home, and we'll give you the all clear. So please be safe. And with that, I'll introduce Jay Stowe with JEA. Thank you.
Thank you. While the storm has lessened a little bit in the wind, we do currently have about 7,200 customers without power. That has gone up and down today and will continue on into the evening. We still expect to have widespread outages later on this afternoon and encourage people to call when they can. If the wind speeds are up, the aerial bucket trucks will not be out if the wind speeds are over 30 miles per hour. We'll pull all crews off if it's 40 miles per hour, but we will get back to you as soon as we can. And if the storm moves out, then we will release the contractors and the mutual aid that we have, and then we will proceed to try to help other people that are in need of help. Thank you. Tracy, schools.
Good afternoon. As the mayor said, we have every desire and intention to reopen on Friday. We will confirm that decision in the near future. We have to see how the storm impacts our schools. We have to make sure that we have food available to serve children. There's a lot of things that go into that, but everyone, for all intents and purposes, should be planning to return to school on Friday. And again, we'll confirm that decision in the future once we can assess the impact of the storm on our schools. Additionally, we talked yesterday about varsity football. We've posted a tentative schedule for varsity football on our website. It has practices resuming on Thursday. Players should get with their coaches or should hear from their coaches about specific practice plans on Thursday. Most of the games are planned to go off on Friday evening. There are 4 exceptions, so check the website on all of those exceptions and look to your schools for specific information. Again, that plan is tentative. We want, again, to begin planning for that and putting all operations in place to have those games on Friday. If we find out that the storm has impacted our fields or our facilities in some way, we actually have a contingency plan to go into place. But for again, for all intent and purposes, look at the schedule on the website and plan on that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Nina Stickler, Public Works. Our right-of-way and stormwater management teams have been working around the clock. Crews work through the night, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., clearing storm drains and ditches. They're also going to be working today, 7 to 7, and then tonight from 7 to 7. They're on site right now in San Marco and Riverside to observe and make sure that everything is functioning as well as possible. We also have our traffic engineering folks monitoring the signals and signs. We do encourage anyone who finds any signal, roadway, or drainage problems to please contact 630 City, as the mayor mentioned, so that we can track them and make sure they're addressed as soon as possible. Final reminder, we are not coming for your garbage, yard waste, or recycling today. I mention that only because we certainly don't want your cans at the curb to become flying debris or to be in obstruction, so please make sure they're secured and not on the curb. And thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Al Ferrero, Interim Director for the Neighborhoods. Today I'm representing the 630 City number and Animal Care and Protective Services. Yesterday we had a total customers served of 2,225. We have a total staff of 42, 24 volunteers, 18 staff. We also have the response time of about 27 seconds. We can handle some of these calls that are going to 911 if they can come to 630 City. The informational calls that we're getting are 648 on information, miscollection 123, and I'd like to say something about that. We have a 99.9% accuracy rate of picking up the trash. There's 317 as of this moment that have not been picked up, and we have well over 300,000 pickups that we're doing on a regular basis. Our animal care and protective services, we have people over at the Legend Center, Landmark Biddle, Chimney Lakes, Atlantic Coast, and also we have at the 2020 Forest Avenue, Street. And we are more than prepared to handle more calls. So if you have any calls that we can handle at 630 City, please give us a call instead of 911. Thank you. And I'll hand it over to Alex after this.
Okay, so for the update on Idalia, she did make landfall this morning around 7:30 as a major hurricane, as a Category 3, a strong Category 3 hurricane, with a peak intensity before landfall up to a Category 4. As of this moment, Idalia has weakened considerably as she's moved inland, north-northeast, still moving around 20 miles per hour. It's very quick. Considerable weakening is going to continue with the system as it moves to the north and away from Duval County. We are already seeing gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. So that's right along the river and near the coast. And that was expected. And this is going to be the peak period here over the next 2 hours. Now in the afternoon, we're going to see conditions begin to improve. But that doesn't mean we're completely out of the woods. We're still looking at another high tide this evening that'll be somewhat similar to what we saw. So those localized low-lying areas along the river may see similar type of flooding that they saw today, which has been minor in nature. The tornado threat was elevated this morning, but has since decreased, and in fact, the rain showers and banding should be decreasing here over the next several hours. So substantial rainfall that may be leading to localized flooding from the rain has been decreasing as well. As far as that's all I have on the storms update.
Questions, guys?
Questions on, I guess, public works or neighborhoods for debris pickup. Obviously, because of the wind, we're going to see a lot of yard waste. Is there going to be any change or anything in that nature?
Yes, we've added crews, an overnight crew tonight from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., and then we're doing another full crew tomorrow from 7 to 7 to make sure that we're out there and addressing all the identified issues as quickly as possible.
talking about regular homeowners, like with their, now the debris from trees and everything that have come down. We've had some of that, I know, not much.
Sure. We're expecting that we're going to handle regular yard waste back to schedule. If there ends up being an excessive amount that needs to be handled through a few cycles, we'll address it once we see what the amount of yard waste is that we'll have to be dealing with.
When it comes to the power outages, how confident are you to get those kind of up and running?
So we have all of our crews and 500 crews from Missouri, Texas, and around the area. And we're already out responding to them, and it is what we do, is we'll turn the power back on.
Are most of those areas on the west side, or where are you seeing a lot of these
They're
outages?
scattered across the whole system. They started on the west side, now they're scattered across the whole system. There's about, at the beginning of this, it was about 7,200 customers that were impacted.
Chief, you had said that you had some Iraq crews out there. I know you can't be specific on what happened, but what type of thing were you seeing?
Just mainly power lines down and trees down. And that's what they do. They just go in and bust the road open, get the power line out of the road, and get just curb to curb, get the debris out of just the road, just where emergency vehicles can get and respond to 911 calls. But it's not been many. I think 10 was the number when I left upstairs a few minutes ago. Obviously, with a couple more hours to go, with the peak of what winds we're getting, we'll probably see a little bit of uptick in that, but I don't expect much more.
And you do anticipate heading west?
The state is waiting on us to clear them to go. So as soon as we are confident that we're good locally, we're going to put them on the road to go help others.
Mayor, you might sound like a broken record, me asking this, but during the storm coverage today at our station, we've seen people hanging out and about, walking their dogs, doing their morning exercise routine as if the storm wasn't even passing by. So I just want you to talk on that about not doing that, because in some areas, people were saying we've been through worse, and
Well, certainly.
but that's not the case for every neighborhood.
Well, but certainly we have been through worse. We truly did. You have to prepare for the worst. When you've got a storm that is out there that has the potential to rapidly intensify, you have to prepare for the worst. And so this morning, I know there were a lot of people out walking their dogs. We're now in that period of time between now and 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon where we're going to see the most intense winds. So we'd really prefer that people just hunker down and stay home. That would be the best thing to do now in the next several hours. All of you dog owners know that, there's a strong desire to get those dogs outside at first thing in the morning. So the fact was, we didn't have the worst conditions early this morning. Now we do. So I'd like everybody, if they would, to please stay inside, and please do not come to the beach. There is absolutely no reason to come to the beach. You're just gonna get slapped with a bunch of sand, and the waves are not in any way rideable or playable or anything. They're just dangerous. So that's it.
Have you been getting calls or reports of people hanging out at the beaches and whatnot?
Have not. So hopefully most people are heeding those warnings.
Are you anticipating shelters to stay open tonight?
I think we'll make the decision on shelters later on the day. I think the only shelter that we have some questions about is the special needs one. If folks are still struggling to have power, so we'll assess that situation. If we have to have that one shelter, I think beyond that probably not. But we'll look at that later in the day. Good. Okay. Thanks everybody. Have a great one.